Hi, we're live here from HMPS 2026 in Salt Lake City. Wonderful Salt Lake City. Elizabeth, nice to sit down with you. I think we just recently met.
Yes.
I have a feeling, though, what we're going to be talking about today is something that we have a lot of affinity with. Mm-hmm. Before we get started, I'd love for you to share a little bit about yourself, your background, who you work with.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Elizabeth Daugherty, and I founded SpurConnX about 3 years ago. I predominantly worked over the past 20 years in the commercial space across various industries, travel, hospitality, financial services, retail, even SaaS. But my last stop was at Delta Airlines. And so I found there was a ton of work I could do within healthcare. Through some personal experiences, I felt like there was a need for some of my know-how in the space, and I just felt like I could help. So I have been working across healthcare, nonprofit, financial services, here and there. One of my largest healthcare clients is Piedmont in Atlanta. Yeah. And so I'm actually going to be speaking with Daugherty on brand, the promise to practice. And so how you deliver on that brand promise, that mission with your experience.
Well, let's get into that, but the Delta angle is really interesting, being a Delta member myself.
Oh, well, thank you for your business.
Well, what I mean by that, though, is they have an incredible focus on ensuring the experience as an airline passenger is so top-notch. They lock you in.
Yeah.
And in a good way, right? I am a loyal member, and I think that relationship that I have with Delta and the airline is one that we should also be having with our health systems, with our healthcare providers, and the system in general. Would you agree with that?
Oh, fully. That's, like I said, why I got into the work I'm doing. So for many personal reasons, been a patient, been a caregiver, and I had all this know-how from a group that's doing it so well, consistently across a global network, integrated network actually, with JV partnerships. There's a ton of synergies between specifically airline travel and healthcare. And so, I've been having a lot of fun translating that experience into healthcare.
And one of the things I really believe is that the relationship an individual has with the particular brand, that experience that they have, actually really defines how they view that brand. And in healthcare, we do a really big job of trying to establish this is our mission, this is what we're trying to do in our community. But I really see the experience as the way you activate against that mission. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. So that is exactly why we wanted to speak about from promise to practice at this conference. Activating the mission is one of those things that is difficult to figure out for exactly who you're serving. I know that various health systems, healthcare groups, they are up against different challenges. Some have a real access problem, some have it a little more under control. And it depends on where their priorities lie and where they have to focus. But ultimately, as that brand has a mission, they've stated it out there in the market, you only have so much time with an individual to garner that trust and then get them to come back and choose you over and over again. And the way you do that is with an experience that is, as flawless as you possibly can get it, making it consistent across the board, and owning your mistakes when they are made. And so, ultimately, that's what I firmly believe and what I'm working on.
Well, and it's nice. I mean, it's very easy for us to say that, but it's the devil's in the details. Having worked in health systems for so many years, I know that bringing the experience, that level of experience and the expectations that consumers are bringing in from other outside spaces, including airlines, is is challenging within our industry, because we don't deliver care like Delta flies airlines and Amazon delivers products. It's a different experience entirely. It's disintermediate, it's challenging, and the back end, the systems there's data's all over the place. It's really hard to piece it together. How have you worked with organizations on accomplishing that?
Yeah, I was going to say that the way you get there, though, is similar. Different challenges, as I was saying, but similar ways to get there. The number one thing you can do is really lean into listening to those you serve.
Yeah.
And I usually like to use the word consumer. I know that everyone has different definitions, but you'll hear me talking about consumers because there are multiple stakeholders involved in the care journey. And ultimately, the more you lean into listening to them and investing that time and energy into listening to what's actually going to motivate them, what they actually need, what's going to create value to them, as well as to your employee base. So that's huge. And that was something massive that Delta would always focus on, and any other big brand that I've worked with would focus on, is the voice of the customer, the voice of the employee, and find that common ground where you can find that win-win situation that benefits all. And to your point, it's such a rigorous operation, and we really are dealing with life and death situations here in this industry. We would say it's not life or death,
right,
you know, in other spaces, but here it really could be.
It could be.
And the most important thing is to lean in to what your people need, so you can alleviate that pressure off their shoulders as much as possible, so that they can show up time and time again more human, more present. And so I really love the conversations we've been having over the conference so far about how you leverage different technologies, even layer in AI in order to do that.
Right, and what I also like about what you're saying is that your customer is more than just the particular patient. It could be their family members, and moreover, it could be your employees, the nurses, the doctors, all of those people that are part of that experience, even the frontline staff, the environmental workers, etc. They all contribute to that experience. So when you say become the voice of customer, what you're really saying is become the voice of a variety of customers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So how do we do that? I mean, that's challenging, isn't it?
It is, but what you need to do is establish how you're going to receive that feedback. You start developing some frameworks and processes. It's really nice if you have a few folks in an insights analytics team to work with. I typically do that, where I'm partnering with them to help guide, okay, these are the structures that I've seen work really well, but what are we working with?
Yeah.
What data do we have coming in? What data gaps do we have? What quantitative, what qualitative information do we need to tell us the full story? Get the insights that are meaningful and actionable, get that out to the right teams to help prioritize with us. And you just keep on that cycle of listening, learning, acting. And what's really key, and this is something that we're going to talk about, is understanding what KPI you're actually looking to move. What is that North Star, overused term maybe, but North Star customer experience metric that is going to help your patients feel your brand promise coming to life.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you make them feel at the end of the day. Not just better, but that they can ultimately trust you with their care now and in the future.
I love the fact that you talked about actionable data too, because we do a good job of having a lot of data, but collecting it in a way, synthesizing it, identifying those signals to then turn that into actions, that becomes really, really critical. And you're right? Each one of the customers in that overall, multi-customer environment experience that you're dealing with, they may have different important signals that we need to address.
Right.
And it's great that you're working with organizations like Daugherty, and others, because that can be very challenging. Sometimes when you're inside the organization, it's hard to see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
It is.
Yeah.
We've all been being an operator myself for so many years, many more than I have been with consulting, it's just you get into the grind and you know you have so many tasks ahead of you that it really is refreshing. And I've had team members join as well where they were just giving that fresh perspective and that guidance and creative solutioning and co-designing. Really that co-designing the frameworks to make that listening and learning work within my organization. There are frameworks you could essentially follow to do that, but I feel like it's more important to understand the actual operation of this organization.
Right.
What challenges do they have? And that's what a lot of folks that I work with, I'm trying to get them to focus on them and who they serve, not what everyone else in the industry is doing. I can tell you with the brands I used to work with full time, we weren't exactly looking at what everyone else was doing in the industry. We were keeping a pulse on what was going on, but we were really focused on, okay, what are our customers saying? What are our employees saying? Because everyone, again, has their bespoke challenges that they need solutions for.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, I think that's, and the co-designing and involving the customers in the design.
Yes.
Involving your customers in your design.
Yes.
That is like a big thing we can take away from this.
Say it loud and clear.
Right?
Yes.
Because that's very, very important.
Yes.
Elizabeth, it's been really great to sit down with you, just have a little conversation about this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being part of today's conversation.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.